Everybody knows everyone.
Jen, you can start. Hi, I'm Jen Lawyer, Memorial School Liaison for PTA. I have a daughter left at Memorial and my other one's in high school in Londonderry. I know.
I'm Laurel, I have a son in 8th grade. Fundraising coordinator.
Natalie, enrichment coordinator, and I have a first grader and then a 2-year-old.
I'm the executive director for New Hampshire PTA. 2 big kids and 3 grandchildren.
I'm Carrie. As my first time at a meeting, I have a daughter in 2nd grade and a son in 4th grade.
Jen. There's nothing wrong with that.
I have a 3-year-old and a kindergarten. I'm Meredith. My son's going to 1st grade next year, and then I have a 3-year-old. And I saw the post about people needing to get involved, so I check it out.
I'm Jillian Godbout, the president.
Mary's just the secretary.
Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting to order for 7:06. Financials are in your, minutes. I need a motion for minutes. That should be,
Can we change it to
yes,
January?
January minutes were really not that bad.
They should be in everyone's inbox as well.
And they're in your packet.
Motion to approve January minutes. I second.
Discussion? None? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3, 4, 5, that's enough for quorum. Okay, minutes are passed. Financial reports. Our treasurer Derek is currently out of the country for work at the moment. But he was nice enough, because his quote-unquote hotel room was boring yesterday, to send us a treasurer's report for January. He said it was a very quiet month. It was pretty straightforward. You guys want to just take a minute and look through it? If anyone has any questions, let me know. I can text him and get anything answered that you might have.
What did the top line for Underhill Playground account, are they working on that? Like, are they gonna change this, or wait until a certain amount of money?
So we've had this account for years. It started back before I was on the PTA. They used to do a dance-a-thon on the last day of school to try to raise money for a new playground, because as we know, we really need a new playground here. And it's been in the works for a really long time. When Mr. Baristow was principal here, we really before Mr. Etsy left, we had a committee and we were rocking and rolling, which is where this account came from. And then Baristow's probably his last year here, we got it up and rolling again and got updated plans, and we were gonna really try to get a committee together of citizens and ask merchants and local people and try to get a playground. Well, we're 2 principals since then, and we've kind of been stuck in this interim because there was supposed to be a big renovation. And we were hoping the playground was gonna be part of that big, we don't wanna put thousands of dollars to have to move it, and they were gonna play with the traffic flow. So supposedly it was part of the renovation packet, but it didn't get approved. In the meantime though, we've been keeping this money here in a separate account, collecting interest. And I wanna say 5 years ago now, Kathy Bobe, when she was on the board, got a bunch of, we purchased a bunch of stencils. So all the hopscotch and racetracks and United States and all that stuff that's out there, we used money from this account to do that. Sherwin-Williams donated a bunch of the paint for us. We had a bunch of parents come in, I think we put down mulch too. I wanna say there was a big pile of sand or something that day, because Adam was here, he helped with it. And then we even brought the stencils over to Memorial and relined the basketball courts there, because they had hoops where we don't here, but they didn't have all the paint. So we did that. Our hopes is that one day the school will have a beautiful playground that's very age appropriate for kids that are here. But we're kind of stuck until we figure out what the big capital improvement goals are here. Well, there's no renovation on the warrant articles this year. It's probably whoever's going to be the next board, we probably wanna have to sit down and have a big discussion with Mr. Loy on what his hopes are and to see what he has shared with the school board and what the school board's planning for the future here. We got, PTA put together a playground donate one, but it only works if it's not, like what the grand scheme is gonna be here, so. That is the story of that account, which is good to ask, because that's a decent little chunk of money that's sitting there. Anything else about treasury report? Looks good. Okay. So moving on, there's my president's report. There's a lot of stuff coming up. It's busy season. Anybody have any questions about any of the stuff that's on here? Because we record our meetings, we're trying to not release it out of the bag. I think most people here know of a very famous young adult series that might have been made into a movie that might be very, maybe that'd be really, really popular. That will be our theme this year for Teacher Appreciation.
For all 3 schools?
For all 3 schools. I see all 3 schools getting behind that one, and I think it's gonna make our life very much easy if we stick with one theme for 2 weeks. So we will be starting to plan that next week for whoever is healthy and available. Anybody have any questions? Yes. So anybody that's available or is interested, let me know. I'll probably put a plug out on social media too, because that's a great way to get people in. We got Derek in last year, he helped with Teacher Appreciation.
It's really fun. The teachers love it. They get so excited. We try to do something every day. I mean, not like being here for hours every day, but like Megan and I, one of the biggest things last year at Collie was we did room service. And we put little hang tags on everybody's mailbox, and they picked what snack and what drink they wanted, and we delivered it to the classrooms. And they, I mean, how small is that, right? They loved it. They thought it was the coolest thing. And we had to wander around Collie. Who gets to do that?
Yeah.
If there's any folks that have some interest in being involved in the PTA and aren't want to dip their toe in, not quite sure, it's a great way, a very high value.
That's how we got Megan, that's how we've got Derek, that's how we've gotten quite a few on the board.
A lot of
So
the
we had a lot of
events
fun. Jen's come and helped with the luncheon, and then the next thing she knew, she had a position. Yeah, it's kind of how that works. So that's really exciting. Let me know. We'll be meeting. Depending on the size, we'll be either here. We might move off location, depending.
If you have other friends that might also want to help with one event, check it out.
Yeah.
Team up.
Definitely gonna be putting the word out there. I'm trying to balance with the dance coming up and the big things coming up in March, what we're infidating out there with stuff, so I'll probably wait a little bit. So the only things that we need to talk about on here, if nobody has any questions, is Memorial came asking for money for next year so they were wondering if they can have the visiting author stipend next year. Do we see, no one else has asked, so are we cool with earmarking it for Memorial next year?
So this is the first.
Yes. It did.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. As somebody they are so gung-ho about it too. They are gonna they're gonna use their Scholastic book fair for a lot of, then they were asking how much that we do, and I said in our budget, we typically do $1,000, and they seem to be happy with that. The visiting author is Andra Kelly. She's a Newbery Award-winning author. She's coming in April 2021 to Memorial. I think it's the first time, and that will now be 11 or 12 years that schools had a visiting author. So very exciting, Newbery Award-winning. I guess the book that she has right now is on Stoneface, and it's like a huge hit with the kids. So they're ecstatic. They actually started talking to me last spring about this project. But I couldn't say yes or nay to visiting like that far in advance, except to tell them that we have that in our budget for a reason. So if we're cool, we'll slate them.
I've moved that they get it, we don't have any other requests, so it sounds happening.
But vote, right?
Second for a vote?
I think that would be the right thing to do, to put it to a vote. So all in favor of Memorial having the visiting author budget next year?
Aye.
Okay. And then the other thing on here is spiritware or logoware or whatever we want to call it, the school logo on clothing. I'd like to do another drive to come back in time for Easter. That's typically what we do, a Christmas drive and an Easter drive.
Have we got anybody to design a Hooksett one yet? Because I know that we've been asked multiple times if there was just one design that encompassed all three schools.
Especially for parents.
I mean, it doesn't have to be anything special, it just could say Hooksett, doesn't it just, not if we have to have a big fancy thing to start, we could start it with just offering the word.
We wanted to, Erica McClough, I'm sure would do that, which Erica, she's
Or
a
Jenny
graphic
Quinn.
designer, she did logos up like in between meetings for books across the gorgeous. I bet if we wanted to solicit someone to do it, she'd do it for us.
Yeah, the logo part, is it hard? Do we want to add that or just do that, or add that, like how do we?
Well, Derek's already got the whole thing done on the
Yeah.
website, right? So it would just be a matter of adding one picture. Oh, but we would have to say what we wanted on.
Right. And do we just want to do a just plain Hooksett drive, or do we just want to add it as like another option? I guess is what my question is.
And I just know so many parents ask for it.
Which is fine.
So I feel like it's at least worth a discussion,
Okay.
even if it's not something you can decide right this second.
Okay. Why don't you seek out and see what Erica can come up with and see if that's cool.
So we want just a Hooksett schools or just Hooksett, just the word Hooksett. I can see it as a parent because I mean, especially with Underhill, they're only here for a few years.
And they get their 5th grade t-shirt from us. That's very memorial-ish. And then Collie, if you play a sport, then you get, yeah. I don't have a problem adding it. I just didn't know if that meant we were just doing that or we're just gonna add it as an
I just feel like
option.
it's worth a discussion,
I think,
I
think
because
both of it's
so
not
many
hard
people
to
have asked.
because they print them to order, right? So I don't think it would be hard to offer just a little extra space on the website, which Derek does such a nice job putting up the fun
Yeah.
descriptions and
Throw a
stuff.
sweatshirt and a t-shirt.
Yeah, I would limit what we offer. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
See,
take that, I'll let Americans.
perfect. So I reached out to Brian at Avalanche this weekend to make sure I knew what our dates were gonna be. So it looks like running it from the 9th through the 20th of March, so I can get it in by the 23rd, so I can turn around and have it, which means he'll give it to me like April 9th, which means I'll have like a night to sort like normal and get it out to the schools for the 10th, because Easter is the 12th. So, I just wanted to double check that those dates were okay, because we've got Art to Remember and a couple other things going on, and I just don't wanna look like we're flooding. And we're gonna start with Colorathon talk, so are we cool with that, or do we have enough going on? Do we not need to do it? It's not really a fundraiser.
I know,
We-
you just kinda
we make-
offer it.
We offer it, we make maybe $1 or $2 per item. So yes, we make a little bit of money, but it's the only way you get logo wear for the schools is to come through us. So I try to offer it twice a year. Whatever everyone thinks.
Okay,
Fundraiser
alright.
coordinator,
It's not like like you said, it's not like it's a fundraiser, it's just something you offer to people. If you want them, you buy them. It's not a push, so
okay.
I don't think it really impacts anything else that goes on.
Okay, so I will get Derek the make Derek aware of the dates so that he can go live with that. And give him a heads up that another design might be coming in.
Perfect.
Yes, she's always lacrosse coach, she's awesome.
I can only imagine, she's, that's what it is.
There are no other questions, moving on. I have not heard from Kate, but I know that, Marge I have heard from Kate. Marge, our assistant superintendent, said that she would do that presentation. So she reached out to me, I think she was hoping to do it in March, but it's now mid-February. About dates and locations, I let her know what was on the calendar so that we're not coinciding, but I think it's a great topic. So hopefully she'll get back to me on what the SAU office and her could work out for location, time and date, because I'd like to plug that heavily for our special ed parents. Perfect, awesome. Secretary.
I have nothing to report. Reflections, just a quick update. I actually don't think it's later in the agenda. That's, I'll let Laurel and Megan took care of turning it all in and got it all there. So just as an update, it's done.
Yep, and I've gotten emails from Kathy DeFeo about, they'll know at the end of the month if anybody moves on to nationals. And we've got the invitations for the attendees for the state contest.
And we decided on just the cards, not an event. So I need to talk to Eric about that.
Okay, or talk to me, I'll pick them up. So I've got the
What did we decide on?
Instead of doing a celebratory event kind of thing, like we did at the Bookery one year, there's just so few that it felt like maybe just some direct gift cards to the kids, what we would have spent, I think might be more.
I didn't know about that. Somebody reached out to me,
Yeah,
so
we just talked about it kind of really late.
I told
We still
her
could do.
getting together.
We'd thrown around that idea as maybe just easier to pull off if there was an
I'm sure they wouldn't mind that.
So we could talk.
We did that one year where it was just board members, kids did reflections, there wasn't enough to, or the board didn't feel there was enough to go do of an expedition. So I think we did 99 restaurant gift cards, but we still did medals and certificates and all of that.
Yeah, no, I thought we were doing something where you were gonna display their art, so that's what I told her.
We still could, we have talked to, the event place that is, I can't remember the name of it, say that right now, but someone has offered to host something for us, we just weren't sure if it would look sad, because there weren't very many.
And it was 5.
Yeah, well, 5's better, but we could talk about it if we have time to do it, we could actually. Or we could throw it out to them and see what they'd rather do.
That's true.
Yeah, the new event place by the Cupcake Ferry, the Veg Flower place, they're really big about the arts. Her daughter's going to art school, so she has offered to showcase art whenever we need
And
to.
it's not huge,
No,
so maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
yeah, because they have the big picture, like they have a big bay window, so I think that's what they would do.
We have
I don't know, because they're off
Graceland's
the,
big
on the
painting,
iPad.
which is big, it's like 20 by 20, 20 by 10, 15. And then we've got a big sculpture that's this big. So I mean,
You could also put them on, I'm not doing reflection, so I'm throwing this out there, I don't wanna take responsibility to do it, but we could rotate them through the schools and put them on display too. Memorial's got display cases, and, and so doesn't
we have
Collie.
one from each school, one student.
No, I would put them together and rotate them at each of the schools though, showcase them at each, I don't know where would be a good spot
When's
here
the
per
movie?
se, but
How would we do the movie?
we have TVs at 2 of the schools.
Yeah, but are they gonna devote
I
their
could-
TV
yeah, I might get
to
tricky to
us?
coordinate
There's
that with
no
the
way
school.
they're gonna do that.
Put it on our website.
You could also display it on the website, we have a scrolling banner.
We could talk about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought we were. Well, I thought you and I had talked about that, I'm sorry. It's one of those ones.
Okay, publicity, since Derek's out, yes, guessing Vanessa's on kids duty and I haven't heard from her. Historian's not here. You can read what she wrote. Laurel and I were there though, and so it wasn't actually Jen, because I stole your pictures, because I was busy doing a presentation, so I didn't take any. But it was a really good turnout for one of these events for us, I thought, for what got out there about it. Too bad Mr. Harris's couldn't join us, but I thought it was a really good night. We have a ton of materials, we could totally do it again. She did a great job using the money wisely from the grant, and I would definitely love to see that night happen again. We have plenty of the materials, they're fully colored, they're beautiful. It was a shame, I wish more middle schoolers were there. I know it's more geared to Memorial kids, but I think now seeing it and done it, I think there's a lot more we could do with it. We could really break up and do a lot more scenarios and do a lot more discussion. It's hard to do at night when you haven't seen one. You know, like you're looking at a script and slide and you weren't part of the creation of it. We didn't necessarily all get together and practice it beforehand. But I think it was a really good night. Anybody else have anything to add that was from there? No? Okay. Laurel, your turn.
Well, we're doing the street sign. Mrs. Gallivan sold tickets for us. She was gonna do it Thursday, Friday, Monday, but of course no Thursday. But I know they did it Friday and Monday, and then obviously not tomorrow, but I was gonna have Derek shut off online stuff tomorrow night, and then tickets are only gonna be sold at lunches Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm gonna do it at the same time as the dance, since we've already got volunteers there anyway, so I'm gonna do both parts. Hopefully we can get some ideas. I just wanna throw my husband's idea out there, because I think it's awesome, and we should totally do this. He thinks we should name it Roadie McRoadface. And just thought that was fun. We should share. Don't let him just decide what it's gonna be, because it would be really
buy a
bad.
ticket?
We're not buying tickets, because that feels really wrong.
Is he handing money to Sam?
Really
Are you
wrong.
sure Sam's not
I'm
going?
gonna win.
Right.
No, we never buy tickets, because that just feels wrong. Yeah, so we need people to sell dance tickets Wednesday and Thursday, really badly. I'll be there Friday, but I came to Wednesday, Thursday. Arts Remember is going, the teachers all have their labels, they're putting them on the art's gonna get picked up the week of March 9th. And that's just easy. That's it.
Can we,
Yes.
Yes.
I've seen it on the site, so I know you haven't.
Yeah, I know Kathy, I texted Kathy yesterday and she posted it again yesterday.
yeah,
So I know she put it up there and was like, come on, you know you wanna see your kids at lunch and tease them or whatever, but we'll see, hopefully somebody. Our usuals have not signed up yet. People
Well,
like,
the usuals aren't here anymore. The kids aren't there anymore.
yeah, but Tona always signs up.
I
yeah.
think she's signed up.
She's not,
One o'clock.
but she's in the March one, so I don't know if she has something going on. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start.
For the arts, remember when we go to push it and advertise it, talk up about the fact that if we make over a certain percentage, we're gonna use the money on the sensory rock, like we talked about last month, for the hallway, so really talk up like
Sensory Rock.
walk,
Oh, walk.
so.
Like at Memorial.
Yeah.
Because I think what you guys have said a number of times, I look at it as a fundraiser, a lot of people don't look at it as a fundraiser, so maybe if we really transparent up front, like, this is how much we normally make, this is what we do with it, it's really like our earmark, or at least I've always looked at it the last 7 years as our field day money, right? Like for the tie-dye t-shirts, because we provide a tie-dye t-shirt K through 5th for everyone, and that's a couple grand once you have the shirts and the dyes and the gloves and all the supplies. It's more than a couple grand. So and we normally make a couple grand on that. So I'm always like, well, that kind of wipes that out. So maybe we have to go back and look at numbers off the financial records, but we make over this amount, we'll start putting all of that towards that special project. And I think maybe that, I don't know, just just trying to look at pitching things in different ways.
Yeah, I guess I don't know that I would have picked that fundraiser to do that with though. Just because that one, like I say, I don't look at it as a fundraiser. But obviously it is because
It's just time-wise, because it's gonna be something that we're gonna do hopefully over the summer, so that's
yeah, so
spring,
we don't have any other options.
Yeah.
Other than Colorado.
which,
It was originally, I think the sensory walk was originally requested as a teacher grant, but it went way over the budget for what teacher grants typically consist of, so this was kind of one of the ideas that came up as maybe that would be thematically similar.
But we were talking a much less expensive walk than what they were
Yeah, I think-
asking
oh, yeah.
for. From her.
Yeah, we're not looking
Yeah.
at that full amount.
but something not to knock memorials in between,
Yeah,
because memorials is already looking a little,
right, yeah.
so, you know, balance.
Can do that.
Anything else? Membership sitting at 5:05. Reflections, you guys have anything else to add?
No, sorry, I forgot it was there.
It's okay. Okay, Secretary.
Sorry.
Natalie?
So the February vacation activity flyer that I've been working on is finished. I'm very pleased with it for my first flyer.
It's gorgeous.
I'm gonna put it up on the PTA board so everyone can look at it, see if there's any changes, and then I'll start just plugging it on Facebook. I won't worry about putting it on the website, because I think just the link for the flyer on Facebook is enough. I
Yeah,
just
share it
required-
as a PEG, don't make it a PDF, share it as a picture, so it
Okay.
comes right up. Is anything somebody's gotta click on,
Okay,
so, did you do it in Word?
yes.
Do you know how to like,
I can convert it.
I
No,
yeah,
I
I can
I'll
copy
send
this.
them both to you.
Okay, cause I was like, there's
I was
also,
shocked I pulled this together.
there's a short command where you can, you can clip it by
Okay.
using function, and then you just paste it into Facebook and it pastes like an image. So
Okay.
you have that.
Maybe
All
I'll
the
just-
tricks I've learned over the years.
I just screenshot it, say that.
Yeah.
So, but
Oh, yeah.
the difference is that it will show up right away instead of having to
So
go through, so you'll.
would the links still work in the flyer?
If it's a genuine one. But that said, we could type the link, we could say, look at our wonderful flyer and go
Yeah.
blah, 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 and then paste it. You could also still like email it as a, like I could blast it out as an attachment or something too, but.
Yeah,
um,
because how I have it set up, there's just all types of activities, sledding, tubing prices, arcades,
What I would-
locked
I would-
rooms,
I
like
would-
just, and there's the links for each of the places.
What I would do is actually put a picture of the flyer as a JPEG and attach it as a PDF and say, if any of these interested,
Click on
click
the
through
link.
the PDF, the links will work there.
Okay,
That would, if there's multiple links, that would be the
Yeah.
right way to go.
okay,
And I think it'd be a great idea to go ahead and email that to Derek
yep,
and ask for him to send it out, I would say, over the weekend after the dance
Yeah.
as like a press, as one
Yeah.
of our
Okay.
newsletters.
and just have it, perfect.
Cause he could put that out and we could the kindergarten readiness night wasn't really ready to quite talk about, cause there had to be yet another meeting. When I went to go send out, what is this month, February's press, cause I ended up sending out February's press. So that one wasn't ready to advertise, so maybe we could put those two
Those two
together and do
together,
like a mid-February press,
works.
cause a lot of months we have to send out to, cause
Yep.
things, they're just
It's
too long.
just so much.
Yeah,
Perfect. I've been in touch with Samit about the second session of the Community Hardest. We're hoping to meet sometimes this week, just to discuss all the details. She does want to do it at Memorial this time around. So I'm not too familiar with that school because I'm not there yet.
I know, I'll
but-
help you.
We'll figure it out
You
when
can
we
ask
get
the
there.
office for the key, safe closet.
Thank you. We finally officially picked a theme for Mother-Son. Challenge night, it's just gonna kind of be red versus blue, pick your color, pick your team, compete against your mom, your friend's mom, your friends. It's just tons of challenges, minute to win it style games. Boys are hard,
Sounds fun.
and I figured as long as I can get them throwing, kicking, and running of any form, they're gonna have fun. And that's by adding the challenges in, it kind of brings the mom into challenge with them.
Does
So it's just Sarah and I this year, so we're figuring it out, how to do it with just the two of us, but I think we have a lot of good ideas. Looking for any help or any ideas of challenges, things like that. We're just gonna try and let them have fun. We're gonna do the door prizes again like we did last year, where everybody gets a ticket to pick whatever they want, where we're gonna have more boy baskets and mom baskets, where last year it was kind of just mom baskets and the boys kind of were on their own. So
Just let us know who you're soliciting from, just because
I
it's
don't
going
think
to.
we're really going to
Okay,
need to this year. Last year where we rented the characters to come, that took a huge
right,
portion of the budget. But there's really no big cost this year.
okay,
So a lot of those minute-to-minute games, we're trying to do it to show everybody that you can do these easy challenges at home with stuff you got laying around the house.
love it.
To just
Yep,
family building, so,
Okay.
I don't think we're really gonna use a lot of that money that's there, so.
okay, not a problem,
We'll see.
and I don't, we, again, chairs, like, there are events that you need to go out and solicit
Right.
donations from, we have no problem with it, it's more or less that when you're doing yours, we're doing teacher appreciation.
Yeah.
So we just don't wanna double dip, we
Yeah.
don't wanna be bugging the same people at the same time. So that's the only reason why we, in that particular time frame, we ask. And then at the end, typically, we ask the chairs to let us know who they went to and what they got, just so as we go through the year and we need to go back, if we need to go back out, we're not, again, knocking on those doors. So, and I'll get you a mic, that's not a problem, as long as
Okay.
there's not balls being thrown
Yeah,
in
well, I
that
don't think
space.
I'm gonna have, like, last year there was the whole big city dodgeball. I don't
Yeah,
think,
and I was like,
I don't think we're gonna do
Expensive
anything that
equipment.
crazy. It's just gonna, and if it is, it's gonna be on the other side of the gym.
Yep.
Um,
I'll just add it to our facilities request for.
Perfect. And then box tops. The trophy is going to be an actual box top made out of acrylic,
That's awesome.
mounted on like a wood platform with plaques on the back that we can just engrave the teacher's name, the classroom name for each of the 3 contests. So
Perfect.
she's looking that it's only gonna be about $90 to $100 for all 3 trophies, and then those trophies we'll be able to use for 3 or 4 years for all the contest drives. So I think in the long run it'll save money then.
Awesome.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
What is the letter something? What is the letter something? I like
challenge night,
it. No, what, I'm sorry, what
It's
else?
the date.
What,
Oh,
was
the-
there a date?
the 10th.
The 10th.
Yeah, that Friday, Good Friday.
There's a sign of change somewhere.
Not yet. But that's all I have.
Okay. Mary Ann didn't update hers, that's what she had, last month.
I will say, the author that they had at school today,
Yeah.
Marcus, was all about it. He came home drawing pictures of the books. We already have a ton of his books.
Yeah,
Um,
because he was out when we were kids, yeah.
and he loved it, so.
Good.
It was fun.
Good. Jen?
It's all there.
Show.
I will reiterate to whoever's doing any event at any school, all the kids still have no idea what's happening at any schools.
Who's the best person to talk to at each school? Just calling the schools and saying?
Well, go to the schools.
Yeah.
Don't call them. You're gonna get, yep, you're gonna get yes to that. I'm wondering if it might be worth like getting a little like, what was I talking to somebody about? I think it was, I don't remember who it was one of the principals. Like literally having like a little PTA crew of kids at each school. Like these are our school spokespeople for the PTA, the student liaisons, they're unofficial little, names that they can be the ones that, I don't know, because even the digital night, I had parents calling me because obviously the parents don't know because parents don't know, but even the kids didn't know. And it's the kids that encourage the parents to go to all these events, we know that. Even the father-daughter dance, there was a lot of miscommunication just with kids. The kids were like, are you going? Cece was asking all of her friends, A lot of them didn't know about it until the week before, the week of, and they were like, can we still get tickets? They're calling me, and I'm like, come on. But the kid didn't know, and if the daughter knew, she would have been like, Dad, we're going. So I think we have to work on that, everybody. I mean, I think if you have an event going on, we've all got kids, have them make a couple posters at home, just until we can get into the flow of it. And they have kids that read the morning announcements anyway.
Yeah.
So just write up a little blurb specifically what you want them to say. If there's a couple, they don't have a problem about, if I were to say, have Cece read this, we practice it at home, she'll do it. And have her and a couple of her friends giggling, laughing, talking about event, talking about the color run, whatever it is that's going on.
Yeah.
Email the secretaries, you're asking who,
Yeah.
so if you have a blurb, email the secretaries the
Yeah,
blurb,
they need
they'll
to
get
have
it
That's why I
on.
was pushing the
But they're
challenge,
not-
like blue versus red, so
Right.
then to just create that hype.
Exactly. Well, they
the
get a
event.
couple of boys from each school and say, it needs to be short,
Yeah.
they don't have a lot of time to do it, but whether it's the posters, the kids don't stop to read something like this on the wall.
Yeah,
But they will, a poster that a kid made, that's very simple and colorful. Anyway, I think personally, this has nothing to do with me, it's just, I think that's something we still need to work on.
Do you think like through student council or through builders club or something like that, we could ask if they want to
They
designate
could.
someone?
But I think it's the middle school kids, it's the little kids, that it's their peers. They can say, so-and-so, what was that you were talking about this morning on the announcements? There's just a lot more closer interaction. I think it's really as simple as having them added on their announcements and having kids write 4 or 5 posters and putting it near the bathrooms and where the kids go. The bubbler, the bathrooms, and at the door to go to recess. Like if you just put them there, they'll see it. And it's not like we're trying to sell them on anything, we're just trying to make the kids aware of it so that it's another
Yeah.
source of information. Exactly, Holly's
posters all
completely,
over the place.
completely. But that was a point I wanted to make because it's hard, we're digital. And the piece that doesn't hit the kids when we're digital is we're not getting to the kids because they're not checking our website, that's all. Colorathon's ordered, I forget the dates, but Fred's sending me all the stuff. I haven't heard from Auburn or Candia, we've had a lot of back and forth about whether or not we were gonna extend the opportunity for them to come. There's a couple advantages, disadvantages. We have to hit a certain revenue threshold to get the highest percentage of the profits. We don't reach that threshold, and the threshold is combined for whoever is doing it that day. So we're gonna have a lower number anyway this year, because that's our second time doing it. And now we're taking out $4,000 that Auburn brought, that's bringing us down even more. So that's something to think about too. It's not easy to get in touch with their PTO people. They don't have an easy way to contact them. There's a generic email that I don't think
They're
anyone
not,
checks.
they're not one of mine, so.
I know, it's hard. So anyway, they may still be a part of it, I don't know. I put the information out there. But if we want to come even 50% close to what we sold last year, like there's got to be a lot of people that step up when the time comes. The detail officer's already been set up by Matt, because obviously we moved the date, so that had to be moved. The Dance Friday, the detail officer's all set. We could just probably still use some more volunteers. Definitely for ticket sales too. 5th grade t-shirt contest is up here. I don't know where my box
It's
is
right
for
here.
votes. Okay. I'll
And it
move
looks pretty stuffed.
Oh, good.
the box.
Well,
Looks
yeah,
like
I was
people
kind of
are voting.
really harping on them. Who's that?
That's the president.
Not her anymore.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Because they gave me a name of a
Unless I
different
don't
woman.
know, if she's not president anymore. Or if you want her.
Yeah, I will. I'll
number.
definitely write that down for sure. She wasn't the one
Yeah,
last
I
year.
don't know.
Yes, she
anyone.
was.
Wasn't White?
Or maybe you weren't dealing with the
She
president.
wasn't president though.
No,
No, Christina wasn't. She was
Yeah.
just a helper. But then who told me the president person was?
I knew Carrie,
I
but
don't-
Carrie's not president anymore, so I don't know
Oh, right.
anything.
Candia, Mrs. Lewis is from Candia, and she's pretty involved in school, she might know.
Yeah. If anyone has it, there's nothing online. They don't even have like a website you can
Yeah, I'll canvas
click
it
to go anywhere, or to contact anyone. Anyway, so, yep, 5th grade, it actually went up a little bit late, and then we had a couple of snow days last week, so I was just gonna probably leave it up the rest of this week. I don't know when we have to have it in. I don't have the
Oh, this?
I don't have the t-shirt size list yet, but Robin said she was doing it, so I have no concerns.
So just check in with Robin, as soon as we have it, we should get it in.
When do we give those out?
We get them to them as soon as they're ready because they like to use them for a field trial.
Exactly, yep. So it's been, what's today, Monday? I mean, they probably had 2 days last week to pick and today. So leave it up to the week and then
Yep.
collect them.
That's what, and then just let me know who's the winner is, so again, we can get them their gift card.
Yep.
And let everyone know at Memorial, like, email Stacy and Steve and let them know, because they like to make a big hoopla out of it too. With their morning announcements and stuff.
That's it.
Okay. This is an updated info from Mrs. Gallivan and Mrs. Benyak. I got that last Thursday when I thought the meeting was Thursday. Mrs. Benyak showed up to the digital, our computer teacher showed up to digital safety night,
I know.
thinking it was our meeting. We don't have admin here, which I just realized. I don't know who did we have? We had Underhill last month. Yeah, so I think it's supposed to be Memorial? No, could be called, I don't know, we don't have any admin here, so for that, update, typically have, for new people, we typically have one of the principals from the schools, they all rotate, since they have 2 school board meetings a month. One tries, we typically have someone here that updates us, and here's what we're doing, and there's typically good, dialogue. Under new business, I just have a recap on father-daughter dance. It was a huge success. Even though there's a lot of craziness with information, I don't know why. It was all over Facebook. We did a paper flyer. Everything aligned when it came to times and locations, but I don't know how many people didn't have the time correct. And I'm like, it's the same time every year. We were really good about making sure all the information went out correct this time. Like, not that we don't every time, but we always manage to have a hiccup with one of our events. I'm like, it's all there. We had the school. The only thing that was a big issue is we had a ton of people at the door, and I did not think that through, as in that we needed at least another board member there. I don't mind a chairperson being the third counter. Marianne was there at the beginning of the night. I had her count. We started with 300 cash, which is a lot for just change for one cash box. I left the night with $1,100.
Wow.
And it was just me. And that made me feel really uncomfortable because A, that's just not how we run things. So we need to do a better job, and we need to keep that in mind for mother-son event, because we went to this because we used to do the RSVPs. But everyone's life is too crazy and no one was RSVPing. Well, they were RSVPing, and then for 3 days before the event I couldn't teach because my phone constantly blew up. People calling, schools calling me, because now people are now calling the schools. I can all of a sudden go, is there any way I can get a ticket? And then they were telling the chairperson, I was saying yes, that they could get in. They were telling me the chairperson gave them yes, even though we had a fast, hard deadline, nobody was adhering to it. So I just said, by all means, pre-buy your ticket so we can count for you better, but we will take tickets at the door from now on. But then we're not used to that, because those events are really great because we have a whole committee that chairs them that isn't the board, which is really awesome for us board people. But then we got into that predicament where Marianne left after an hour because she was doing registration table. After the first hour, it dies down, and there I am alone, attached to a box, because what do you do? And that's just a lot for one person to walk away with. So just like to us to think about that and plan better, because that is not a predicament. I wasn't comfortable, and I'm like the bonded president, like I wouldn't want to make anybody else feel like that, so.
Did so well.
Yes, I think it went really, really well. They ran out of food.
Do you know how many people they had?
I did 800 at the door. We already had 124 registered. It was a good, I looked like every other dance we've had. Like, it was packed and
Nice.
happy. So, yeah, it was good. It was a cute theme. I think it went really well, so.
I volunteered at the food and it went fast. People were begging for water and giving away cups to fill up in the water bubbler because it was good.
Wow.
So, another great event. Kudos to Nicole McIntyre. She is the queen of the father-daughter dance. So, that is awesome. Anybody else have anything they want to add? Any questions to ask?
I did have a question. So, because I was filling out all the reflections things, we had to have when our bylaws were approved.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so then I found out, oh, that means we're gonna have to do new bylaws to get approved, right? Because you said ours, it was October.
Ask me to remember.
Well, I'm pretty sure, based on the information I got,
Okay.
we had to do that. So I am thinking about the fact that we have been overwhelmed sometimes with the 5 parent teacher or parent information nights. So I was trying to find that part in the bylaws so that I, when it came time to redo the bylaws, like we were ready to go, like we could make some amendments, but I can't find it.
Have to look.
Cause, yeah, I was like scouring it and I'm like, I don't see it, so I don't know.
Maybe we removed it, and I'm just going on
So then that's-
historical
We can
data.
start now not having to do 5.
Well,
Back it up.
we already have 5 on the books. I mean, those are our family engagement nights. That's our digital safety nights. Those are our pre-K nights. That is our literacy night. Next board can do what they want, but that's good PTA practice is to have a parent.
Yeah, but to have it on the bylaws to say you have to do 5 for a brand new board coming in, I felt like was gonna be a little asking too much, personally. And at least give them the option to know that it's there and you can make the change, should you want to.
That it is
Okay.
editable.
Right, thank you. Exactly. Oh, well.
I have to look. They were approved in 2018.
17.
Nope, we have amended in 2018.
The ones online all say that the ones that were approved were 17 and she has the 17.
I have approved 18 because you came back to us.
Well, no, I could be, well, you're right, I could be wrong on that, because there was probably a letter that says 2018, but I looked on both. And I couldn't find.
I
out
have them right
17
on my
days.
computer because I was taking care of high school scholarships and mine say 2018. I can pull them up
No,
on
I'm
the
talking
drive.
about I couldn't find the bylaw thing, or the parent information.
Okay, yeah, so our bylaws were amended, because we were missing
You're
a
right.
section.
Right. She's 18. You're right, you were right. You had it right.
So then they're every 3 years, so that's 2021, if my math is correct, right?
Don't ask.
So, because I knew
I
I wasn't,
found
I
it
knew
in
we
two
didn't
places
need
on
to
the
touch them
website.
right now, because I
This letter on the
purposely
website.
looked at that when I was talking to Derek, when Derek came on last year and was looking, I did the math and I said, well, you don't have to tackle bylaws first thing off the bat. Not that that's how you should look at it, and they should be, bylaws shouldn't have to be completely adjusted constantly every 3 years either. They should just be reviewed and make sure that they're still make sense for your organization. But if
Well, we
you're
just had
trying
to do
to
them
treat.
early because we had to add the liaisons. Because that's when we took on college. So that was
Right.
the sole
She's
reason.
coming back to me.
Yeah, which is why they're 2018, because
Yeah, right, why we did them a year later instead of waiting adopted college.
we adopted Collie, so we had to make some role changes in them. Yeah, I have a copy in my bag, so I always carry a copy. But yeah, they don't need to be touched until 2001. So whoever, 20, yeah, sorry. 20, oh my God. Yeah, 2021. So, since next year we'll have a lot of new faces, they have a year to get their feet wet.
But we could remove that if I did
I feel like that's more of a procedure than a bylaw thing. Like it's a choice that you're doing.
Oh, the parent info, yeah.
At one point they were, because I remember Trish ranting and raving, but they were in there at one point. I've been here too long. A couple presidents ago, so.
Valuable bylaws. Or whatever.
Jen, one of my good friends is actually in Auburn, pretty active in the town. I just texted her, she's gonna get me that.
I just saw that. I just, like, if somebody tell them to check their email, they'll see all the information from me.
She said they
That's
might
all.
have, she said they might have a Facebook page or something, might be easier to reach out.
ABS has a Facebook page, but it's just
Nothing.
like parents and like, nothing happens on it.
Well, she might,
They didn't
She's a
even post
bulldog.
pictures from the color run last year on their Facebook page, so. It's not very, they post what's happening, but it's not very interactive. That's all.
Anything else? Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting adjourned at, wow, 7:56, that's a record. You guys recording ahead of time?
I'm doing right down, yeah.